Martin Luther King Boulevard.
in Thailand. I wonder if they got a Martin Luther King Boulevard in Thailand. Everywhere Martin Luther King Boulevard is at the street is junk. Is it not? That is a junk street, Martin Luther King Boulevard. Have you seen the nice Martin Luther King Boulevard? Have you seen the nice one?
I've not been to many.
What about Chattanooga?
There's
What about Nashville? The one in Atlanta's junk.
I don't think you've been to one.
I've been to a battle of them. There's one here in Rome.
No, I don't think you. No, there's not. There's only one
No.
in Atlanta.
In Atlanta, there's one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they don't. You can't have the name of a street. It's not. What do you think? It's a big long street that goes from Atlanta to Rome.
No. It's not the same one. It's different streets.
Well, a different street would have to have a different name. There's no streets in America that share a name.
You want to bet? You think there's only one Jones Street?
I'm not familiar.
Google how many Jones Streets there is. You're just saying that to say it. You know better than that.
Okay, you're gonna think this is funny. I typed in exactly what you said. I typed in how many Jones Streets there is, and I'm gonna read what popped up. There is only one Jones Street. Tell me it doesn't say that. There is only one Jones Street.
In Savannah, Georgia. There's a Jones
But-
Street in Somerville.
But did you like literally?
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
that's bizarre. I typed in exactly what you said, and then the first thing that came up on Google AI overview is there's only one Jones Street. I'm just saying. I'll keep this tab open just for another Google if we need it.
Yeah, we'll definitely be Googling. Google, if you had COVID, will cucumbers smell like Clorox?
I've always thought a green Skittle kind of tastes like a bathroom cleaner.
If I had a green Skittle, I threw it in my mouth with the other Skittles. So I don't know what, like,
You don't eat it individually?
no, but I tell you what I do individually. A peanut M&M.
It's better if you can formulate your sentence without the double word of doo-doo.
Comma. I tell you what I do.
No,
A peanut M&M.
I'll tell you what I do.
A peanut
This.
M&M. Take it, put it in your mouth.
And you eat everything. You eat the chocolate off, and then separate just to the peanut, and then you eat the peanut. I do the same thing. Yeah, it's in a nice little casing in there. It's begging for it.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Huh?
Spam. And what is the deal with spam?
What are you, Jerry Seinfeld?
That was sort of Seinfeldish, wasn't it?
Yeah, really it was. Let's see. This pulled up the NIH website. It says emerging pattern of post-COVID-19 parosmia and its effect on food perception. So apparently you have olfactory dysfunction known as parosmia.
That's what I have.
Yeah.
What's the treatment?
They don't have one. Probably sniff a bunch of Clorox until it smells like cucumber. If you sniff something long enough, it'd start to smell different to you.
Do you know if you put Clorox and pneumonia together, it'll kill you if you breathe it in. If you inhale it in.
What would that make?
Not bad. Like if you're cleaning the toilet bowl, you pour Clorox in it, you know, oh, this ain't getting it, I gotta have some pneumonia. You pour it in there
I've
with
never
it.
known anybody to. Is that a thing? A bottle of pneumonia?
Yeah, back in the day, look it up.
You talking about pneumonia or
Ammonia.
Well, you're saying pneumonia. 3 times you've said pneumonia.
That's how you say it. You say it the same.
Okay, I'm glad. I was starting to think that you legitimate. Like, I was really sitting here going, so there's a like you can have pneumonia in a bottle? Like, what? I really was thinking. I didn't think so, but
Ammonia.
he probably knows that.
Take a bottle of Clorox, pour it in there, put
Ammonia.
some pneumonia in there.
I don't agree with you because do you know what your
By golly, it
do you know
will.
what your piss is comprised of?
Ammonia.
And if you put Clorox in a toilet and let it sit, to clean it or whatever, and then you went and took a pee on it, it would be fine.
Yeah, but it's not. Yeah, but you're talking like a little bit of Clorox and a little bit of pneumonia. I'm talking like, I guarantee you, if you poured.
Well, see, I'm tired of stuff like this. I'm tired of if you eat an apple and drink a glass of milk, it could kill you. And they're talking about like you have to eat 5,000 apples and 8 gallons of milk. It's like, yeah. If I do anything, it'll kill me to that level.
If you pour.
If I drink 3 gallons of water in the next 10 minutes, I'll die.
Listen, pour that much Clorox,
Well, that's not very much.
200 milliliters, and then pour 200 milliliters of pneumonia in there, and do like that. Google it. Google it.
But did you hear what I just said though about Clorox
Google
in a
it.
toilet and then peeing on it and it wouldn't
Yeah.
kill you? I've done that before.
Yeah, but that then it's not the same. Google it.
You want me to move on from the cucumber thing?
Google this.
It says never mix bleach and ammonia. Yes, it can kill you.
Mm. Mm.
It also says high levels of exposure of bleach can cause pneumonia.
Really?
That's what it is.
If you get poison oak real bad, you'll take it, scrape it open, and dab it with bleach. It'll go away. Kill you. It'll kill the spot.
It'll
It won't
kill you. Yeah, I bet it would go away.
It will.
If it kills you.
No, it won't kill you.
There was a lady one time on My Strange Addiction, and she liked to take bleach baths. And she knew it would kill her if she, if she just literally got into a bathtub full of nothing but bleach. So she would just draw her up a bath of water, hot water, and then pour like a dab of bleach in. And she got to the point where she was like adding more and more bleach just because she loved the smell of it and how it dried out her skin and all that. Like she just
Really?
like got addicted to it. Isn't that crazy?
That's bad crazy. That's weird.
Also, one of the best My Strange Addictions is that lady who was crapping in buckets and keeping them in her house. You remember that one?
No, I don't remember that one. I remember the one where the woman ate sheetrock.
Yeah, I think the lady who crapped in the bucket, she was faking though, because they were like, you have contaminated food in your house. Like, we're not letting you back in there from this point forward. And she was like, well, I'll tell you what. She was like, I'm gonna go in there one more time. I'm gonna eat some of the contaminated food, and then tomorrow I'll let you do what you got to do. Because she was like, because all I know is everybody who's got something like this, they've got to go have one last hoorah. That's exactly what she said. And they were like, you want to have one more hoorah with crap all in your house and eating contaminated food? And she was like, yep.
Wow. I've been in some hoarders' houses. Them things are rough.
Yeah, there's different levels of it, everybody's got a little, well, not everybody, but some people have kind of collectors or hoarder tendencies, you know what I mean? Like, I probably got a little bit of that in me. I like to hoard various things,
Oh yeah, I like to keep stuff that I might need.
Yeah, like I like to keep, I like to collect the Capri Sun straws. You know, the yellow.
I know them. Why?
They're unique.
You don't collect those.
Well,
You don't collect those.
yeah, I guess that's probably true. I don't collect them because, like, I would never get one from somebody else. Because, like, a collection more means, like, you buy and sell and you I don't do any of that, but like I do collect them in the sense that I have gathered a great number.
How many do you have?
However many fits into a 5-gallon jug of water.
No, you don't. Bring that.
Okay. I also like to collect. Well, nowadays, you know the tabs off of Kool-Aid. You know that little skeet on the top. That's that weird looking claw looking thing.
Yeah, it's like a phoenix,
Yeah.
upside down.
Yeah. Those two. And the other weird thing that I don't have very many of, so it's kind of embarrassing to call it a collection, but there's this little tab on fire hydrants. Like, you know how I kind of like it because it's rare. I only have like 13. But do you know how often you see a fire hydrant?
Right.
Like, not many. Like, it's pretty rare, right?
A fire hydrant?
I mean, I'm talking like out of how many Capri Sun straws there are. Like a fire hydrant, you know, a red fire hydrant
real
on the
one?
street. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not common.
There's a pile of them.
Corn. I'm talking about in the sense of like how many other things that you can collect. How many Capri Suns out there are there? Millions.
Yeah.
How many fire hydrants are there? Not that many.
Right.
Like there's one in a little area.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think you get what I mean. Now.
Yeah.
There's, in one way, compared to, you know, how many donuts you've had in the last month. Well, there's a lot of fire hydrants.
Right.
But compared to how many. So there's this little, if you go investigate those, I used to play around them as a kid. There's this little thing on the back. It's just like this tab that says "Do not remove,"
Yeah.
and it's a little thing that comes out with it. I removed some of those. I collect those.
You started when you was young?
Yeah, I only have like 13 though, but I would say I collect them.
Mm. What's
know-
it allow on the tab?
Do not remove.
That's all it says.
It says something about like if you remove violation of state law up to penalty of the fine, all that. But anyway, it's like
So
hard
you're
plastic.
addicted- you're
it's like
addicted-
hard. I'm not addicted.
You're
It's like
addicted
hard
to-
plastic.
Collecting Capri Sun straws.
No, I'm not addicted, but I will say if someone had an intervention with me, I would look at them and say, well, all right, I'll stop, but I'm got to go with one more fire hydrant
One
and
more.
have one last hoorah, and then I'll stop.
Mm. Germany. Yeah, I don't have no quirks like that, I don't think.
Well, you kind of do.
Like what?
Like, like every time it's 11:37, you have to mention the DNR. I mean, like, you literally couldn't get any quirkier than that. That's the quirkiest of quirks.
No.
When it's 11:37 a.m. and p.m., you have to mention the DNR.
I haven't even allowed anything about them today.
At 11:37, you did.
No, I didn't.
Like clockwork. It is clockwork. It's literally like you're autistic and you have some kind of clockwork in your mind because you don't even need to check the time. It's like you know when it's 11:37 and you go, second case of wasting disease found in Georgia, and you'll be like, what are you talking about? DNR.
Speaking of autistic, have you seen that show Love on the Spectrum?
I've heard of it. Do you think I'm autistic?
No. That Love on the Spectrum is what's up.
You like that show?
That's a good show. That's a real good show.
I've been told I'm autistic.
Who told you that?
Doctor?
Did he really?
Yeah? Why?
What did he allow?
Did I have autism? Varying degree.
So what's what's the tale? What was the tale for him to allow that?
I think just when I got a checkup when I was a kid.
Just said Chili's autistic.
He didn't say that. He said this is a hard conversation to have, but
Did he really?
yeah. This kind of sounds funny, but yeah, that's what he said. But I think he's slightly autistic.
I think you're dealing with it, Tom.
Huh?
I couldn't tell a bit. One thing I do like to do is
You say you couldn't tell it.
my toe.
You couldn't tell a bit, or you couldn't tell it was a bit.
I couldn't tell a bit. My toe.
A bit of what?
my toe
A
on
bit
my
of honey.
my toe on my right foot.
That was an odd laugh.
The second one. What do you call the toe beside your pinky toe?
Actually, bit o honey, not bit of honey.
That's pretty good too. You don't like bit o honey?
I wish
They
they were
sell
way
it in some movie houses.
Cracker Barrel. I wish they were way better than they really are when you try them.
I
What do
like
you-
Cracker Barrel.
Me too. What do you call that? Your ring toe?
Is that what that is?
I don't know. It's your ring finger.
Oh, so like your ring toe, not your ring toe. You don't call it your ring toe. You call it your ring toe.
That reminds me of that one time.
If I'd have said it together like that, you'd have made a big deal.
That reminds me of that one time my cousin tried to tell me what they had at lunch. You know, he went to he went to a Catoosa County high school.
Uh-huh.
You know, and I went to somewhere in Tennessee, and he tried to tell me about how bad their food was, and he was like, "Yeah, we had these things one time that were pretty good." He was like, "They were Crispitos," and I was like, "They gave you what?" He was like, "Yeah, it was Mexican. We had Crispitos. It was like this fried tortilla with meat inside. It was pretty good, Crispitos." And I was like, "You're just saying crispy toes like a Mexican." And he was like, "Yeah." I think he was joking.
Really?
Anyway, kind of reminded me of that because no, not your ring toe. I think the one next to your pinky toe is the ring toe.
Anyhow, for some reason I'll tear it off.
The toe?
The toenail.
Well, that's a big difference.
Yeah, the toenail.
You said it.
Yeah, the toenail.
Well, you haven't referenced the nail yet.
I just did.
You just referenced the ring toe, and then you
I'll
said,
just be chilling.
"I'll rip it off."
I'll be chilling, and I'll just tear
Well,
it
you
off.
can't mean something that you hadn't mentioned.
I just did.
Well,
I'll
I'm
show
saying
it to
I'm-
you.
No.
Corn.
Why do you elevate it unnecessarily? You get so angry. I was simply telling you. You can tell me what to get. I'll get it.
I got it. Bro.
You can just tell me, like you were. You were trying to tell me. Yeah, I know. You were trying. Oh yeah, you didn't mention your nail. You just mentioned the toe,
Yeah.
and then you said I'll rip it off. So how is one to assume that you meant the nail when you
Well,
said the
I
toe and
just-
you hadn't mentioned the nail?
I just clarified it.
Yeah, but I'm just saying going forward you shouldn't do that.
It'll be okay. I've made it 48 years doing it, and they ain't locked me up yet.
Really, you've done that for 48 years?
48 years.
That's crazy.
The doctor told me when I was little I did it. He said, "This is a hard conversation to have."
See, now I don't appreciate that. You're making a joke out of me being autistic.
I'm not.
You are.
No, I'm not.
See, you're making a joke out of that. It's a big deal to be autistic.
I'm telling you. I like autistic people, Bo.
Well, yeah, see, like, why do you feel the need to even say that?
Well, why wouldn't you?
It must show something about your...
Every one of those people on Love on the Spectrum,
On autism? Jeez, it's not a drug, Corn.
on Love on the
It's a
Spectrum,
condition.
they all tell you that they're autistic.
Right off the
Right.
bat. Yeah, what's that like?
What?
What's that like?
What? When we said the same thing at the same time?
No. What's that like?
What?
AIDS. Is it not like that?
I was policing one time, and there was a guy causing a disturbance at a gas station. And I walked in the gas station.
What's
Hold
that
on.
copper speak? There was a guy causing a disturbance. It's like the person who called it in.
So I walked in the gas station, guy fitting the description. I looked at him, I said, "What's going on?" He turned around and said, "I have AIDS."
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
And for some reason, me and the other officer went, "Whoa." Just like this, "Whoa." He said, "Well, I was just letting you know."
As if
He said, "I'm just letting you know in case something happens."
as if y'all reacted as if he had said, like,
I have leprosy.
I have a gun, and
Oh no, you say I got a gun, it's about to get serious.
no, that's what I mean. You reacted like a like an old lady would do that doesn't have a gun, and they said, "I have a gun." That's how you reacted when he said, "I have AIDS."
Yeah.
No, I mean, look at me. You literally. I'm not saying you. I'm like you wouldn't have done that if he said, "I have a gun." I'm saying like
Right.
an unarmed person just walking in the grocery store, old lady. You know, no gun on her person. The dude turns around and goes, "I have a gun." She might go, "Whoa," and that's exactly what you did when he said, "I have
sure.
AIDS."
Yeah.
That's odd.
What would you do?
Let's
You
do
don't.
it.
You honestly
Turn
don't-
around. Let's do it right now. I'll put myself there. But I gotta. I'm responding to a call, right?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Hey, sir.
I have AIDS.
All right, let's. Well, I wouldn't be.
You can't do that.
I can't do what?
Like reach out and touch him. He's got AIDS.
Yes, you can. See, that's a myth from the '90s. That's literally a myth that we've dispelled. That if someone has AIDS, you can't get within 8 blocks of them, or you'll get it too. No, you know how you get AIDS? It's more than that.
Do you think you could get diabetes from a toilet seat?
See, I like you covering up your you covering up your mouth because you're laughing. I like when we're having these discussions and it stays a little bit more serious and you don't joke constantly. And I like when we have the AIDS discussion and we confront controversial topics and we talk about things like that, like can you touch people with AIDS? But then you say things like, can you get... I wish you had said AIDS from a toilet seat. That's a much more reasonable question. You said diabetes from a toilet seat. I mean, you basically asked, like, do you think you can sit on a toilet seat and your pancreas not work? I mean, what? No, I don't generally think that.
So-
that's probably a reference to something.
So, if you was a police and somebody allowed, hey, this man.
Now, stay on the diabetes thing.
No. We're going back to the AIDS thing.
No, I would like to have stayed on it, but you veered off. So go ahead. Why do you think you can get diabetes from a do you think you can?
No, absolutely not.
Why would you even bring up such a notion?
So,
Okay.
they're like, hey, this guy stole something. And
Can you
you're-
not say that either? Stoled.
and you
twice?
You said.
He stole it twice.
You say, all right, well, I'm going to lock him up. And he turns around and he says, I got AIDS. And you look at him and you see like little sores and stuff on him.
Well, that's not good.
Do you think everybody has a sore on them? No.
Are you asking me currently in the world?
Do you normally have a sore on you somewhere?
Not a sore, but I would say literally every day of my life, I probably have some kind of freaking little cut on me or
Me
something.
too.
Like I have it right now.
Yeah.
Not a sore.
Yeah.
Like not a big.
Yeah, I'm not talking like a orifice.
Yeah, like
bleeding
never
out.
that.
Yeah.
But I mean, literally, my fingertips are bleeding in like 3 different areas right now.
So do you think you could
Heck,
get?
I'm bleeding on my arm right there.
Yeah.
Because I freaking
Well,
picked
look
that.
at my legs.
I picked that scab. Yeah, you're bleeding. So
Would that concern you?
if a person said they had AIDS and they had big open sores on their hands,
Are just sores like what you would think you normally have?
yeah, it would concern me. But I've also learned about literally that you're not going to get it that way.
What about hepatitis?
Oh, from somebody like that, you could, yeah.
Yeah. So, like, you like when you're dealing with people, like you don't treat them differently because, but like I'd had the same thing.
I know
happen.
you
Hold
do,
on.
but that's not a bad thing.
Yeah. Well, what I'm saying is like you don't treat them like they're not a person because they have it.
Right.
But when you are like dealing with the public
Well,
on a
because they're
regular
different.
basis, and you could get something from handling someone when someone tells you they have something, like they're telling you that to let you know, hey, there is a possibility here. I have this. You don't want what I have, right? That's why they're doing it. A lot of them, people with hepatitis will tell you that in a heartbeat, like when you're dealing with them. So you just deal with them.
I don't know
by
much
touching
about
them
hepatitis though.
differently.
I know it's like A, B, and C.
Yeah, I think C's the one think C's the one, like if you got it and we're wrestling around or something, like it, somehow, you know, it could spread.
Yeah.
I think. But anyhow, long story short.
Speaking of, they try to vaccinate kids for some of these
Yeah.
diseases. It's like, how's a kid gonna get that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyway.
So
So you're just saying like you wouldn't treat them any different, like just like
as a person,
like as a person, like you wouldn't
But
treat
it-
them differently,
but
like
going
if
to
they were,
arrest
you know, we're
him.
a different race,
like when I arrested
or if
him,
they were a different ethnicity,
Right.
You wouldn't treat them
Right.
differently, obviously. So it's like if they have that, well, I still don't treat you differently as a person, but I am going to treat you differently because I have to handle this differently because I can get what you have, and why would I do
right.
that?
So I say, hey, you're under arrest. Turn around, put your hands behind your back.
Then you put gloves on.
A lot of times I'd be gloved up anyhow. Like I had those needle-proof gloves.
When you would show up with gloves on,
A lot of times, yeah,
really?
yeah.
Like you wouldn't handle your gun with bare hands? You'd have a glove?
A lot of times, yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, because, man, you'd be searching in so many people's car, and the people that didn't know they had needles in their pocket is just left and right.
So like you would drive with gloves on?
A lot of times. yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's probably a good idea.
But anyhow, and like make sure they did whatever you asked them to do, because you don't want to like get to tussling with them because they don't have anything visible. Don't mean you're not going to cut them with a handcuff,
And then touch that.
yeah, or something like that. Yeah. Right.
What was this about?
But you don't have to worry about catching diabetes like that. That's not going to happen. I don't even know why you brought that up.
Is that something from Parrish?
What's that?
The diabetes on toilet seat thing.
No, that's an old joke I used to tell a buddy of mine that I used to work with, Fat Freddy. He had diabetes. He's got diabetes. And he'd be like, "Well, I guess I'm gonna have to go use the bathroom." And I'd say, "Well, hurry up, Freddy." And I said, "And wipe the toilet seat when you're done, because I don't want to catch your diabetes." You know? His belly sticks out about right here. Cornbread, you shot out, boy. You crazy, boy. You go on, use the bathroom.
Huh.
This podcast was brought to you by Power Up Premium Trail Mix. Raisins, almonds, cashews, pumpkin seeds. How much fat does a pumpkin seed have in it?
By what metric?
You're talking like what measurement?
I mean percentage, like what do you, how much fat?
So if you
just
say-
how much total fat?
Yeah.
When they say, you know when the weather says 30% chance of rain, what does that even mean?
Nowadays it don't mean nothing. Now, like in 1988 to 1994, it meant there was a 30% chance of rain.
But like when they say, like when you see that, it's like 30% rain. Like, does that mean there's a 30% out of 100 chance that it is going to rain?
That's what they.
So like there's a 70% chance that it doesn't rain,
Right.
but we're like, is that what that means?
That's what it
Or
means.
does it mean that like 30% chance of rain for Chattanooga, and it's like 30% of you guys are going to get rain, and 70% of the city is not going to get rain?
Well, now when they forecast severe thunderstorms, they do those with your likelihood to see a severe thunderstorm in a 25-mile radius from your location. So it'll be like 80% chance of thunderstorms, but your location has a 15% chance of seeing that 80% chance.
See,
That's how they do it now.
don't you think, like, name another profession that can be wrong as much as a weatherman and still have their job?
Oh, the entire media. Anything to do with the media. Anything.
Well, I'm talking more like,
You're talking like doctor, police
sure,
officer.
sure. Like, who could be wrong? Just flat out, hey, y'all, it's going to rain, and it doesn't. Who could be wrong as much as a weatherman and keep their job?
No one. No one.
Why do they get to keep their job? Why if you're a weatherman and you've literally realized that your forecasts have sucked for a year, do you not get fired?
maybe you've got a multi-year contract, and the entertainment value you bring is pretty high for that weather station. I would think if you was a weatherman on the radio, they wouldn't give a fat rat about you and be like, you suck, bounce. But on the TV, well, I mean, there's entertainment on radio too. On TV, a good weatherman's a good weatherman. That's a good weatherman.
I'm kind of tripped up by the contract thing you said.
Maybe he's got a 10-year contract.
Is it the NHL? I mean, what?
Per serving in grams.
I feel like I had glasses right then and I wanted to push up my glasses.
You do got a skeet right there on your other eye, right there. It's like you bumped your eye socket right there. No, it's a red mark.
Hmm?
Red mark.
Oh, I can't get it off?
Oh no, it's not.
Well, you were
coming off.
you were like, you were
Yeah,
gesturing
a
for me to
skeet.
get it off.
No, it's a skeet.
What's that box doing over there?
I set it there
Why?
because that's where I'm piling the boxes right now. Per serving, grams of fat, pumpkin seed.
It's on its hexagonal radius right now, and I don't know.
Chili, pumpkin seed, per serving, grams of fat.
In a pumpkin seed?
Yeah, per serving.
Well, don't act like you're reading it off the back. That's the whole
I'm not.
mix.
It don't say pumpkin seed.
I know.
It. Yeah. Do you know?
How many grams of fat in a serving of pumpkin seeds?
Yeah.
Well, it depends on what the serving is.
A quarter cup.
That's a lot of pumpkin seeds.
What do you think?
How many grams of fat? 30.
A lot.
You want to look it up?
Yeah, Google it.
How many grams of fat in a quarter cup of pumpkin seeds?
Yeah. Thank you, Power Up Premium Trail Mix, for this sponsoring this podcast. Non-GMO, gluten-free, no added sugar.
This is 14 grams.
14.
Way less than I thought. I guess 30 is kind of a lot. Why? No.
Sign off.
Why?
Sign off.
We're still talking.
Sign off.
Is this too long?
32 minutes.
Oh, that's fine.
32
We're still
minutes.
talking.
Sign off.
I was going to ask you about one more thing.
What
Seriously.
was it?
I mean,
What was
I'm
it?
not going to tell you if you keep hovering over that. I would like to talk about it, and you just kind of be relaxed and sit over here. No, please don't do that.